Here are Ted Reynolds and Toller Cranston.
Brian Kurt is certainly a part of the excitement that's building here because of what he did last year in the World Championships in Budapest, that quad, and because of the fact that he is one of the new breed. Toller, there's a lot of them. It's a post-Olympic year. Many of the great stars have moved on. What do you look for then overall at these championships?
Well, Ted, let's take up the post-Olympic year syndrome. One would imagine that after the Brian Boitanos and the Brian Orsers and Katarina Witts, that the skaters may not be of that quality. But what has happened is that they are very much of that quality. In fact, there are at least 5 in each discipline that are top-ranking international quality. But what they don't have is the international protocol that those very known skaters had. And so what you have here is a competition which is highly active, highly aggressive, because each one of those skaters wants to launch themselves as a world champion and go on to Albertville in France, but possibly being an Olympic champion, as did those other skaters.
And the Canadians, Manley, Orser, Wilson and McCall, our medalists from last year, have all moved on to make great wads of money, and we're very happy for them, but they're not here. We have a lot of new Canadians. What do you think they're going to do here?
Well, let's look at Kurt Browning. Kurt Browning launched himself from obscurity last year and became one of the most internationally known, particularly because of the quad that he successfully did in Budapest. I think that he is a major superstar and certainly a force to be reckoned with. And with our pairs, I think that there's a good chance that we could see a medal with one or perhaps even both the pairs. With the dance, I think that that would be a little more difficult. And with the women, because Karen Preston is very new on the scene, I would think that one should give her at least a year before she's going to start to make waves. But all things considered, I think the Canadian team is strong with a great deal of potential.
We're going to see the pairs tonight skate for medals. Do you think there's a possibility of an upset?
A possibility of upset? I always say yes, there's a possibility with almost everything. Tonight, absolutely not. I think that probably Gordiev and Grinkov are just too seasoned and too experienced to
have anybody beat them.
But as far as second and third, I think that's up for grabs.
That's what's going to make this all very, very exciting. The places that are up for grabs. Right now, let's return to Brian Williams.
It's opening night here, Ted. Here to watch the pairs. The other skaters, Charlene Wong on the left. That's Rod Garasino, our dancer on the right. Chris Bowman, the American star, definitely a medal contender, along with Kurt Browning. Speaking of medals, here's a favorite in the men's division on the left, the Soviet star Alexander Fadeev. A couple more of our Canadians, dancer Michelle McDonald on the left. Karen Preston, our #1 single skater on the right. And speaking of singles, there's the queen, Katarina Witt. She will be honored here on Saturday. We're now ready for the pairs.